There's a controversy over the NEET exam center in Kerala. Female students were allegedly allowed to enter the exam hall only after forcing them to remove their innerwears, even in halls with male students. After exams, the innerwears were found to be put together as a pile of clothes. One parent has complained to the police. The college authorities explained that the security duty was given to a private agency, thereby placing the entire responsibility on them. Neetu Ravikumar is with me. Neetu, any word from the administration there? How was this even allowed?
So see, from the center where this has happened, there is no official word that has come in, but then they say that it is their premises that was given, and it's basically the NEET examination is conducted by the center, by the
center there. So that's from where they will have to give an explanation on this. But what happened here is that the father of a child has approached the Kerala police. He has filed a complaint with the rural SP in Kollam district, stating that his daughter had to undergo severe trauma yesterday because she was preparing for this examination for many years, and finally on that date she had to go through a lot of trauma. Imagine a situation where she had to remove her innerwear and she had to sit in a class where there are male students also and had to write. And the father says that it's not just one student, there are many other girl students who had to go through this. But what the other side is also saying is that there are certain regulations and rules that are being provided by the NEET while conducting the exam. And one thing is that there should not be anything metal that a student can carry into the examination center. This is something which those organizing this or those conducting this exam has to clarify. They have to give guidance so that these young minds are not tortured like this or has to go through such kind of mental harassment.
This is an okay. I will go back to Neetu, but Rahul Easwar is also with me. Rahul Easwar, first reaction to me, this sounds like completely misunderstanding the guidelines that have been given and taking it too far.
Yes, I totally agree. It is taking it too far. They are over-reading into it and they are overstretching it. I mean, there is a reasonable understanding and interpretation of any text as we can see. But this is overdoing it, and I hope there will be some kind of acknowledgement and action on it. What we are hearing in media, at first is unbelievable, and when we think again, it is ridiculous. So this is going a bit too far. I hope there will be some kind of acknowledgement from the education department and some kind of action on it too.
And also, if they're saying that we were just following the guidelines given, how come students across the country have not come up with similar complaints? The guidelines for such an exam is all India.
I know, and see, this cannot be any rationale, right? I mean, how do you even say that out? And taking their inner dressing off is all absolutely unacceptable. And if there is a complaint, I hope somebody seriously look into it. Whatever guidelines are, there are guidelines across the nation, but this is absolutely unacceptable. And hope some kind of serious inquiry into it should be definitely done.
But these students who have been forced to go through this trauma, through this torture, like the father of the complainant is saying, imagine her having to write the exam for which she is prepared for months. How could she even write, focus on it? I mean, her career is at stake here.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. See, having gone through this mental trauma, how will their brains work? What mentality will they be writing the exam? And what kind of attitude these people are having, making these girls go through this trauma? This is absolutely unacceptable. There cannot be any justification or rationale for this.
Thank you, Rahul Easwar. I'm also being joined by Brinda Adiga. Brinda Adiga, I don't know what to say. Your first reactions to these details which are coming out.
I'm shocked. I'm appalled that invigilators are doing something like that. Do they think that they can get away by trying to say that they were checking? What were they checking? They actually think that somebody would sit in an examination hall and remove something from inside their undergarments to cheat? I think this is pure harassment, and it is not simple harassment, it is sexual harassment. And I think it is important that the person who did this must be charged. I can't even imagine what that student is going through. Already NEET exams have been under a lot of fire, and there is so much of tension that these students go through writing such competitive exams. And over and above, putting her through this kind of shame, insult and humiliation is absolutely incorrigible on the part of the invigilator. I think that person must be absolutely removed and never be allowed to get this job, to do this kind of a job again.
You know, this exam center is putting the blame on the agency which was hired to carry out security. They're saying it was their job. What do you expect from the government? How do you expect the education department to intervene?
The education department needs to own up that it is their responsibility. I think it's cowardly on their part to say that they have given the responsibility to an agency without any terms of reference, without giving them the SOP, without telling them what is the entire child protection policy. I don't believe that. And if that is the case, whoever is sitting in that education department must resign just now. Take responsibility, ensure that you apologize publicly for the agency's job and for what you have put that particular student through, and get this thing done that you will never ever humiliate, insult or traumatize another student ever again.
But Brinda, the point is an apology, a condemnation, nothing is going to bring back what the student has lost. If she was so traumatized and she was made to write this exam in that state of mind, it's quite possible she may not have been able to give 100% in that exam. Should something be done on that count as well?
You're absolutely right. And I think the education department must then give her grace marks because she was put through so much of humiliation. It is the job of the education department and the people who correct the NEET exam papers to give her grace marks to pass.
Right, Brinda Adiga there. Thank you so much for joining us. Neetu, you've heard the reactions coming in. Whatever justification might be given about the NEET guidelines, about metal not being allowed inside the examination hall, the implementation of that guideline, if there was any, you can see the kind of reaction that is coming in. Is the Kerala government intervening? Neetu, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
I was just asking you if the Kerala government is intervening, because there's a lot of shock and anger, even though justifications are being given by the exam centers.
See, the Kerala government has not yet reacted on this, but then the assembly session is ongoing right now. So the minister is inside the assembly, so we have not been able to get any reaction from them, but then this is conducted by the NTA and the CBSE, so that is something, the clarification which they will say will have to come from the centre, but so far we haven't got any response from the state government as well.
So they are saying this has to be responded to by the centre, Neetu, but this is an all India examination. The guidelines are same for all centres across. How come complaint has come only from one centre, or are there more from other parts of Kerala?
See, right now what we know is about this complaint that has come in from this one particular centre, because the parent had actually gone in and filed a complaint with the police, and he claims that there are many other students who had to undergo the same thing. So right now what we know is about this, because the parent has complained about this.
Right. So you are saying that this has come to light, but we still don't know whether there are more cases. We will try and get a voice from the centre, because the entire onus is being put on the NET guidelines that were issued. This is what the plea is being taken by the exam centre, that the guidelines said students can't enter the hall with anything metallic, because some innerwears have a metal wire. That was the reason that these students were forced to take off their innerwear. That's the logic being given by the exam centre. Let's see if we can get a voice from the centre to react to that. But going back to this complaint, Neetu, exactly what is the sequence of event? What exactly is the complaint that has been given? Is it a police complaint? Is it a complaint to the education department?
The complaint right now that has been given is to the police department. The father of this one child have approached the Kollam rural SP and said that his daughter had to undergo severe trauma, severe mental trauma, and was not able to give a great performance. She was not able to give her 100% for this exam because she was traumatized as